Welcome back, biology people. Here we go with week number 6. This is our final full week of lessons. That's not to say I won't have something for you next week. Next week, I am going to have an extra credit assignment for you. So don't forget about me next week. If you're thinking, are there final exams? There are no final exams due to the coronavirus and the stay-at-home orders with all this digital learning. So no final exams to worry about. And what I'm going to do instead of a final exam next week is I'm going to give you an extra credit assignment. And for those of you out there who need to improve your grade, this is the last thing on the last week of school for you to get your grade up. But I'm going to show you on the online notebook where that's listed as well. But don't forget about me next week with that extra credit assignment, because that could really help boost your grade. Because extra credit kind of fills in the gaps of your assignments in the past, whereas what we've been doing is new assignments, and those improve your grade, but not nearly as fast as what extra credit assignments we're doing. So if you need to improve your biology grade, extra credit's the way to go. Don't forget about me next week. All right, let's go take a look at what you need to do this week, though. So this week, get that out of here. All right, week 6, 5:25, 5:31. Again, office hours from 2 to 2:30 on Wednesday and Thursday. Don't forget about that. If you need help, why might you need help this week? Because we are going over codominance and sex-linked traits. All right, so last week was your introduction to genetics. You did a concept map, some basic problems, and then you did complete dominance problems where you had a capital letter, lowercase letter, capital dominance over the lowercase. All right, so that's your basic, what we call Mendelian genetics. This week, we're going to get a little more advanced with some genetic traits that don't work out so perfectly. All right. So this is the agenda right there. If you need to watch this video again, what do you need to do this week? Make sure you log into Jupyter so you can get your attendance credit. You're going to have some practice problems for codominance, some practice problems for sex-linked, and an online quiz, of course. And those quizzes are counting as test grades. So if you want to get those grades up in biology, in addition to extra credit next week, I would get your quizzes done and do the best you can. Speaking of next week, I made a mention right here. Next week, you're going to be doing something called pedigree charts, which are basically mapping out a trait for a certain family. If we were in class, we would actually do a project where you map your own family and then pick a trait like eye color, and you would get to see all the genotypes of the people in your family for that trait. Unfortunately, as you know, things are not working out exactly like we wanted to, so we didn't get a chance to do that project this year. But I'm going to show you how to do pedigree charts nonetheless next week. Okay, what do you need to do this week? All right, assignment number 1 is really not an assignment. It is just learning. Learning what? Learning what the heck is codominance or codominance traits are. So I have this video for you right here. You have to watch this. This is what's going to explain what codominance is. Basically, codominance is, last week we had a capital letter and a lowercase and the capital dominate. What happens if not one of them dominates over the other? What if they're both capital letters? What happens? That's called codominance. They're both dominant. This actually happens in red blood cells. So for blood type, like you got type A blood, type B blood, type AB blood, and type O. We're going to go over that. It's in this video right here, so don't forget about that video. And we'll talk about how you accept blood and how you donate blood, and it has to do with the DNA inside your red blood cells. Okay, so this is the written notes. This is the video of the same information. So assignment number 1 is just to learn about codominance. You don't have to produce anything. Just learn how to do codominance traits. Assignment number 2 is actually some practice problems. Okay, so these are the practice problems right here. Number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, you're going to do them in the 5 steps that we've been doing them. Identify your letters, draw a picture of the parents. If you need to run a Punnett square, if the problem calls for it, then do it. And then when you run a Punnett square, you should do your ratios of genotypes and your ratios of phenotypes. And then don't forget, step 5, go back and actually answer the question. All right? But you can't do these problems unless you understand all this stuff up here by watching that video. So watch the video, then work on the practice problems. I actually go over 2 of the practice problems in this video right here. So my suggestion is to try and do the practice problems on your own. If you get them, great. If you want to see if you're right, click on this video right here. I go over 2 of them and explain the thinking that goes behind them, and that should help you out. Okay, so assignment number 1, learn what codominance is. Assignment number 2, do some practice problems. Same situation with assignments 3 and 4. Assignment 3 is to learn about a different trait called sex-linked traits. I give you a video right here explaining what they deal with. Basically, sex-linked traits are on the sex chromosome. So girls have 2 copies of the X chromosome, and females have 2 copies of the X chromosome. Males have an X and a Y chromosome. And because they're different, that causes certain diseases to show up more often in men. We go over that in the video. Things like baldness. Notice there's a lot of bald guys, but there ain't a lot of bald women. Color blindness. Men are more likely to be colorblind than women. There's another one called hemophilia, where your blood clotting doesn't work and you can actually bleed out. And so those are all sex-linked traits. We go over those in the video here. All right, and this is the written information that goes with that video. So if you like to read, read it. If you like to watch videos, watch this video. I like watching the videos, so that's why I make you guys videos. All right, so assignment number 3, you don't have to produce anything. Again, you just need to learn what are sex-linked traits. Assignment number 4, practice problems, okay? And, if I could type it correctly. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, these are the practice problems right here. Number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 practice problems. So if you think about it, all you have to do this week are 6 problems for codominance, 6 problems for sex link. That's the only thing you're actually producing. But again, each problem has multiple steps. Identify the letters, draw the pictures, Punnett squares if needed, ratios if needed, and then make sure to answer the question. All right, again, I would try to answer these on your own. If you want to see if you're doing them right, I have another video here that goes over 2 of the sex link problems. I believe it's number 3 and number 6. So if you get stuck on those, watch this and see if your thinking is the right way that my thinking was, and that should help you out. All right, so assignment 1, learn what codominance is. Assignment 2, practice problems. Assignment 3, learn what sex linked is. Assignment 4, practice problems. And then assignment 5 is an online quiz through Jupyter on that same stuff. And that's your week. That's what you need to get done. Again, office hours are Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 2:30. If that doesn't work for you, you can reach out to me through message, Jupyter message, text message, or you can email me. If you're working on a practice problem and you're stuck and you don't know what to do next, take a picture of it, text message that picture to me, and I'll give you some feedback on where you're stuck and what you need to do next. Okay? All right. With that, good luck. And don't forget about next week. Next week, extra credit assignment. Very important for your grades if you need to bring your grade up. All right, everybody. Good luck.